Thus spake Orcanes, and some inkling gave in doubtful words of that he would have said. To sue for peace or yield himself a slave, he durst not openly his king persuade. But at those words the Soldan 'gan to rave, and 'gainst his will, wrapped in the cloud, he stayed, whom Ismen thus bespake: How can you bear these words, my lord, or these reproaches hear? O let me speak, quoth he, with iron scorn I burn, and gains my will thus hid I stay. This said, the smoky cloud was cleft and torn, which like a veil upon them stretched lay, and up to open heaven forthwith was borne, and left the prince in view of lightsome day. With princely look amid the press he shined, and on a sudden thus declared his mind: Of whom you speak, behold the Soldan here, neither afraid nor run away for dread. And that these slanders, lies, and fables were, this hand shall prove upon that coward's head. I, who have shed a sea of blood well near, and heaped up mountains high of Christians dead, I in their camp, who still maintained the fray, my men all murdered, I that ran away. If this or any coward vile beside, false to his faith and country, dares reply, and speak of concord with yon men of pride, by your good leave, Sir King, here shall he die. The lambs and wolves shall in one fold abide, the doves and serpents in one nest shall lie. Before one town us and these Christians shall in peace and love unite within one wall. While thus he spoke, his broad and trenchant sword, his hand held high aloft in threatening guise. Dumb stood the knight, so dreadful was his word. A storm was in his front, fire in his eyes. He turned at last to Sion's aged lord, and calmed his visage stern in humbler wise. Behold, quoth he, good prince, what aid I bring, since Solyman is joined with Judah's king. King Aladine from his rich throne upstart and said, O how I joy thy face to view, my noble friend! It lesseneth in some part my grief for slaughter of my subjects true. My weak estate to stablish come thou art, and mayest thine own again in time renew, if heavens consent. With that the Soldan bold in dear embracements did he long enfold. Their greetings done, the king resigned his throne to Solyman, and set himself beside, in a rich seat adorned with gold and stone. And Ismen sage did at his elbow bide, of whom he asked what way they two had gone, and he declared all what had them betide. Clorinda bright to Solyman addressed her salutations first, then all the rest. Among them rose Ormus's valiant knight, whom late the Soldan with a convoy sent. And when most hot and bloody was the fight, by secret paths and blind byways he went, till aided by the silence and the night, safe in the city's walls himself he pent. And there, refreshed with corn and cattle store, the pined soldiers famished nigh before. With surly countenance and disdainful grace, sullen and sad, sat the Circassian stout, like a fierce lion grumbling in his place, his fiery eyes that turns and rolls about. Nor durst Orcanes view the Soldan's face, but still upon the floor did pour and tout. Thus with his lords and peers in counselling, the Turkish monarch sat with Judah's king.